Over the past week or so, we've been lucky enough to have some snow here in the UK. I don't know about you lot, but I've always loved the snow. And this made me think, did they experience any sort of snow in the medieval Arab world? To cut a long story short, yes, they did. So let's look into it very quickly. When looking at the Arab world today, you can identify some areas which already has snow and experiences snow. For example, in the Levant area, which is mainly Syria, Jordan, Lebanon and Palestine, there are mountains which have snow all year round. For example, the beautiful Faraya in Lebanon. However, when discussing the medieval Arab world, it's often mainly referring to firstly Saudi Arabia, or back in those days Arabia. This is because this area has always been significant as it contains the two most holiest sites in Islam. The second area is Baghdad and the Iraq region. Specifically in the early Middle Ages, Baghdad was the center of Arab power. It's where the intellectual revolution happened and was the pride of the Arab world. The last time I checked, snow hit Iraq back in 2008 and it didn't even set. It shows how rare it is for this weather to arrive in those places. This means that snow is considered to be an extreme weather condition in that area. And when looking through history, can we find any reports of this extreme weather hitting, for example, Baghdad in the medieval period? As we said earlier, surprisingly, yes. There were many manuscripts which were written about the medieval Arab world, and within these manuscripts is meteorological information, which can assist scientists in unearthing the climate at the time. And all meteorological means, so it's just a technical word for simply looking at the climate and what it was like back in the day. So yeah, we'll just stick to the term, the weather back in the day, it makes life easier. In my research, I found that there was a group of Spanish historians who went through manuscripts and sources which were written during the Islamic Golden Age. This is probably around the 9th or 10th century, which is considered early medieval. They found documents describing Baghdad in the early Middle Ages, which is obviously talking about its trade, commerce and how it was the center of the Arab world. But what was also found is information about the weather, also known as meteorological data. I'm going to stop using that word now, but this data actually contained information about extreme weather conditions. They actually found 55 citations which referred to the same event of extreme weather. Writings of historians such as al-suyuti, al-tabari, Ibn al-athir included this information about weather. Now, when we mention these names, they are usually involved in the circle of Islamic history, which can be biased at times and inaccurate depending on, political or theological allegiances. However, when it comes to the weather, I doubt they would need to be biased about it. So in these manuscripts, which historians look through, they found 3 instances of snow in the 10th century. Some reports said that snow reached between 30 and 50 inches in medieval Baghdad. Now that is a lot for a region which is mainly considered to be on the warmer side. In fact, there is a commentary which was written by Ibn al-Jawzi, a 12th century historian, about the snow he witnessed in 1007 in the Arab world. We will end this video on his account of the rare snow he saw. He says, and I'll quote,
"This year, on Wednesday the 11th of Rabi' al-Awwal, also the 25th of November 1007, there was a great fall of snow in Baghdad. Its height on the surface of the earth was 80 centimeters, depending on the places. The snow stayed for a week without melting away. People threw it from their house roofs to the streets and alleys with shovels. Then snow began to melt, but it remained in some places for 20 days. This snowfall reached Tikrit, and letters arrived from Wasit informing of snow falling between the marshes and Basra, Kufa, Abadan and Mahruban.